Good evening and welcome to Global Sustainer News. I'm Haley Duckworth.
And I'm Megan Smiley.
And it's so hot outside, my car door melted on the way to work today.
It sure did, Haley. It sure did.
Today we have a special report for you as we cover the last 10 decades of our Earth and how we regret not listening to the scientists when they said we would actually regret our decisions. It all began in the days of pool skirts and Elvis fans, when we hit a record high of greenhouse gas emissions. According to the Fifth Assessment Synthesis Report of 2014, temperature actually raised a whole 8.5 degrees Celsius from 1880 to 2010. At that time, the ocean took the brunt end of it all, as it stored 90% of all of the energy, not being able to withhold all of the carbon dioxide. As we know, the ocean has been taking a beating since the industrial area, as the acidity rate has actually raised 26%. 40% of the emissions have actually remained in the atmosphere, causing numerous deaths of animals and human life. This has also caused many species to relocate and has affected their overall interaction with one another. Now you may be wondering, what has caused this change that we are all paying for now? It's with a high increase of overpopulation, it is safe to say that the human race is the smooth criminal we have been fearing all along. Now to you, Megan.
The world is amidst chaos. The impacts of climate change are being felt globally. With the rate of displacement of people due to extreme weather, such as floods and droughts, people are running out of options. Not only are people fleeing from their homes, but they are threatened by lack of water and food. It's all due to climate change. In addition, the rate of death and injury due to intense heat waves and fire, as well as foodborne and waterborne illnesses, is at an all-time high. The world as we know it has been changed forever. And now to Kyle with the weather.
Thanks, Megan. I'm on the coast of Florida, and as you can see, it's completely underwater. Now, you may be wondering how this happened. Globally, economic and population growth continue to be the biggest drivers for climate change, as CO2 is emitted into the atmosphere from fossil fuel combustion. Since 1970, CO2 emissions from fossil fuels have tripled. From the year 2000 to 2010, anthropogenic greenhouse gas emissions were highest in history. In recent decades, changes in climate have caused impacts on all continents and across all oceans, indicating the sensitivity of natural and human systems to climate change. As such, glaciers continue to shrink almost worldwide, causing sea levels to rise and affecting hydrological cycles. Many terrestrial, freshwater, and native species have shifted their geographical ranges and migration patterns, and observations in ocean basins show changes in the abundance and distribution of fish, invertebrates, phytoplankton, as they have moved to deeper, cooler waters. As you can see, the fish I'm surrounded by were not native to this area, but they are here now. Also, some warm water corals in their reefs have responded with coral bleaching and decreased coral cover, which has resulted in habitat loss and has ultimately resulted in species replacement. Apart from these impacts from recent climate-related extremes have resulted in extreme events, such as heat waves, droughts, floods, cyclones, and wildfires. This reveals the significant vulnerability of the Earth's ecosystems to climate change variability. As such, any steps to reduce our anthropogenic influence on climate change should be taken. Now we will turn to Chelsea with mitigation.
I'm here in Blackpool, England, and there are many adaptation and mitigation strategies that can help address climate change. Effective adaptation and mitigation strategies will heavily depend on the policies within international, regional, national, and subnational scales. In order to have effective adaptation and mitigation strategies to occur, there are several factors that need to be established. Factors such as effective institutions and governance, innovation and investments in environmentally sound technologies and infrastructure, sustainable livelihoods, and behavioral and lifestyle choices. This will help establish effective adaptation and mitigation strategies. The current lifestyle that the world is currently living in is creating high resource consumption and higher greenhouse gas emissions. Incorporating the factors of adaptation and mitigation, there will be a substantial amount of emissions that will be decreased if countries accept and understand the current status with climate change. However, if these issues are not addressed throughout the world, As climate change increases, the adaptation options become more challenging to change. Back to Haley and Megan.
Thanks, Chelsea. This has been Global Sustainer News. I'm Megan.
And I'm Haley.
We will see you next week.